Oh my God, pickles. Fanny?
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to A Table Rant. I don't even know what to say when it comes to this movie because it just where do we start? I guess the question we want to have answered here is, should you bother with Sorry to Bother You? I'm pretty sure I didn't hate it as much as y'all two did.
I didn't hate it. I'm just really hating it.
You're confused.
That movie was blue cheese garbage.
Okay.
It was booty hopscotch. Booty hopscotch.
I don't know how I feel about it. I know for facts I did not hate it as much as I hated Jurassic World. For facts.
I know for facts that is making me mad that you hated Jurassic World more than you hated this booty hopscotch.
I mean, I just want to be clear. The movie was garbage, but it had redeeming values in it.
Such as?
I think they were the metaphors they were trying to make as far as selling out on your friends. Selling out on your friends and feeling like you've accomplished something for yourself, but didn't look out for everybody else. I mean, of course, there's some allegories, some black people allegories in there that we as African Americans would understand. But all in all, I just felt like when it came to getting the point across, I feel like they made their point and they were just like, let's go for shock and awe. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's kind of what lost me in the movie. And as far as like, you could have had such a better movie instead of it. It'd been great if we were high. Like that's the best way I describe it. Cause
well, I don't smoke, so it's gonna still suck.
I don't do drugs, but if you did drugs, it's clear that whoever made it does drugs. But
or was doing drugs when they made it.
Yeah, because I feel like they took a bunch of concepts and was like, you know what, let's see if it sticks. So, I mean, I guess we supported black, so I mean, I can't be too mad at that.
I hate to like slap someone's creativity to the floor like that because just because I don't like something doesn't mean the next person can't. And I know everybody who's a creative, like, you kind of try to reach for a little bit more than just the in-your-face moment. But that movie was just off. It really was just off.
Yeah. I feel like you want to jump in there?
I don't even know what to say because I don't know how I feel about this movie. Last night I was on Facebook and one of my friends had posted, now that I've seen Sorry to Bother You, I don't know how I feel or what to say. Yeah. And that's basically how I feel about this movie.
Yeah.
I thought that we were getting a much different movie based off the trailers.
And absolutely.
Definitely.
I thought we were about to get some like I don't even know. I don't even know what I was expecting.
It started off like what I thought it was going to be based off the trailer. Mm-hmm. And it was that way until he got to the point where he was at that guy's house.
Should we
from there it was just like, what the heck?
Should we give the twist away?
I mean, we always do spoilers.
Yeah, anyway. This is spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happens in this movie, just don't finish this review from here on out.
I mean, but the twist was just so much.
And come back.
The twist like changes the movie completely. I don't know if y'all want to give it out.
Yeah, let's just say this is a spoiler review.
Okay.
We're ranting here.
Okay.
What are those things called? What are they called?
Equisapiens is what they call it. Okay, so the basis of the movie was what was the name of the corporation?
Worry Free.
Worry Free was basically using slave labor to make the world make jobs easier for people. Yeah. More cost efficient. And one of their ways to cut costs was to make a legion of horse people.
Centaurs.
And not the kind like you normally see, not like a Harry Potter jam where the upper half is man and the back half is horse.
Nah.
This is like full man with a horse head.
Yeah, and horse dick.
Oh, and it had hooves, right?
Yeah, it might have. Maybe on the legs, on the feet, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the hands.
I feel like they had hooves.
No, one was holding a bat.
Head.
One was holding a bat at one point, so they have to have had regular.
They
were swole as shit too.
Either way, you're not about to see some Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter fantasy type shit with this. Nah. It's completely different, and they created a fake word, but they just couldn't just call them what they are.
Let me just attempt to see if I can do some digital cool stuff real quick.
I think the metaphor they were trying to accomplish with that is just like, you went too far. Like, I feel like what they was, another thing on there, like the show that they're showing, like the highest rated show was called Watch Me Get the Shit Beat Out of Me or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think what they were trying to say is like the crazy things people do. My face is just so
like
freaking
people
greasy.
Will watch anything.
Yeah, the crazy things people will do for TV, just to be on TV, whether that's reality TV or reality TV,
yeah. I mean,
or Love and Hip Hop.
I kind of understood the idea of like, because I feel like you hear people talk about this in the like work, labor, job. I don't know what to call it, but like
workforce.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying like in that particular like industry where you have like assembly lines and stuff like that. You kind of hear those. You hear people refer to them as like animals.
Yeah.
So like they don't get paid a lot. They don't really get to see the outside, and they are just there to put stuff in a thing.
Well,
so I kind of got that and the idea of like them being horse people.
Yeah.
But I don't know why would they choose a horse.
I think that was the next step up because when you have slaves that are working, you also have horses at work. And as long as a horse has its blinders on, then it's going to go the direction that you send it. Yeah. So you can have a horse to pull things for you, like to do heavier, more manual labor that, I mean, you'll have to stop to take whatever out, but the horse can pull and whatever have you, because it was like, okay, you don't want to do this, I'm going to turn you into this horse thing. Yeah. So I think it was like the next step up to keep that idea of the slave labor going.
Yeah, but we had
still stupid.
I feel like we had two different movies here because once Armie Hammer's character was introduced, it turned into that sort of like work, slave labor metaphor, because at first it was like you said earlier, selling out your friends, and then about using your white voice, which I don't know if you guys have your white voice.
Definitely. Well, I just want to put it out there. They
I make ice cream.
They landed my last two jobs was telemarketing and working in a warehouse. So I completely understand. Maybe that's why I hate it less than you two do, because those are literally the last two jobs I've had. Sure. So I mean, I get what they're saying as far as you go to work every day and you get paid very little, yet they're making you sell things for a company that takes all the money. I completely understand that aspect. And as far as putting on a white voice, because there would be times where I get calls at my old job and people would just go off and talk about how much they hate black people, not realizing they're talking to a black person on the phone. Also, in a warehouse, we're moving boxes all day. We all feel like we're not getting paid as much as we should get paid, and so I completely understand what they're talking about as far as feeling like a slave and using slave labor, but all in all, I feel like they kind of just went too far with the horse thing. Like the metaphor kind of just is like, okay, y'all doing the most.
I think they tried to make. I think they tried to teach too many lessons.
Yeah, in one movie. Yeah, too much. And
it was like a pot of goulash. Yeah. And sometimes goulash is really good, and sometimes it really, and that went really south. Like it just was not. I was sitting there thinking like, man, I really could be taking my hair down right now.
Yeah, I mean you're right, because they started off with in order for you to fit in this world, you have to conform and be. You have to have the white voice. Then they have the slave labor, the worry-free company, which I'm assuming is supposed to be like kind of like a mashup of like Amazon and Google and Walmart, where there are places where they want you to feel like we're a family and we all come to work, and like especially Google and Amazon, they have campuses where you.
I'm surprised Danny Glover was in a movie like this.
Danny Glover is. Been doing stupid shit. Where you all come together and you like Google you eat there, you live there, you do your laundry there, you do everything there, and I feel like that's the next wave of how business is going to go forward, because people are more and more trying to get people to be at work and want to be at work, and eventually people are going to start taking advantage of how much we like to be pampered, I guess would be the best word to describe it. So, like, oh yeah, bring your whole family, but little do you get, while you're not paying attention, you're going to be working 13-hour days, Because you're still here. You have a place to stay. What do you need to go home for? Your family's all here. You know what I'm saying? So
well, prior to the explanation of him saying like you're selling people, Danny Glover said he was like, so it's comparing like apples to oranges, and he was like, no, it's comparing apples to the Holocaust.
Yeah, right.
So he did make it very clear like this is super intense. But then another thing that they really hit on, I don't know if y'all were paying attention, but one of the first phone calls he made once he was selling slave labor was to someone who was in Asia. And he was like, I know that this is made in China, but, and we all know that that's cheap labor as is. Yeah. And then he's talking about the fact that he's about to make it cheaper.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad you brought up Danny Glover. Shout out to Danny Glover with the I'm too old for that shit line. For those of us that have watched Lethal Weapon and know Lethal Weapon, that was a good line. Anyway, yeah.
I started watching those movies.
Yeah, you gotta get on Lethal Weapon. You'll understand if when they said that they showed that, I'm like, oh shit. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Yeah. But and they also
go ahead.
I was gonna say when they first showed Omari Hardwick's character, one of the first words he said was power. And I was like, I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Is he in power?
I wonder why Omari Hardwick had them poke chops.
Also, we forgot to welcome you back. You haven't been on any table rants because you don't watch Power. Fuck
I
you.
don't watch Power. I'm
you step your life
Power,
up.
so.
You step your life up. We've been doing this without you for a while.
Mia mentioned this in the car on the way over here about Tessa Thompson's character.
Yeah.
And how she was like
reaping the benefits, but then was complaining.
Oh, I'm glad y'all brought that up.
She was like, if you do that, we're not going to be together anymore. But girl, you was enjoying this nice little studio.
Yeah,
y'all are in.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me of the Tyler Perry movie that just came out, Acrimony. When I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
Absolutely not.
I won't go into a bunch of
Please
it.
don't.
But
Perry stuff.
it's just it kind of reminded me of that because this woman was like complaining, and then she got all these benefits, and then she still complained. But I'm like, oh, you literally just got $10 million and you want more? Like, what are you talking about? But yeah.
I think that's one of the things that the movie was trying to portray. Just like you get so much money, but you're doing it off the back of killing your people, killing your friends. It's just like, okay, we get that. We get the message. It's just like a lot of times people, and I feel like I may be going too deep in this, but so y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like you work so hard to get out of the hood, so you start selling drugs and. Yeah, you make it out, but you've done killed off the whole hood because everybody's strung out. So I don't know if that was one of the allegories they were going for, but I took that away from that because it's very similar.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I felt like he was trying to. I felt like he was trying to do whatever he could to avoid going back to that situation, and not realizing that while he was doing that, he was no longer being true to himself.
Yeah.
And he lost himself.
Lost his humanity.
I see what you're saying. I definitely didn't think that way originally. I thought like what I just said because he was like, look, I know, but you know my uncle's about to lose his house, so I'm going to go do what I got to do. Yeah. And then he told her, I only did this so I could be more interesting to you because he was worried that he was going to lose his girl. Her, yeah. So I think that he got lost because it's easy to lose sight of who you are or what you stand for when you're getting so involved into something that you almost can become, I guess, like rolling with the flow to the point that you become complacent in what you become and don't even realize that you're not yourself anymore. You have to really take a step back to see that.
Yeah, I mean, you noticed that when he started talking with his white voice
all the time,
and then she was like, "Don't use it." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice I did that." Mm-hmm. So I mean,
because at work it got to the point where it wasn't just for the phone calls; it was all the time. We're talking to each other like this. Period.
Yeah.
I think if the movie would have been that, and I think that because since you guys are explaining it to me, I get it, but in the movie it didn't make sense as far as his character development. I didn't feel like he was different from the beginning or the middle or even the end. He felt like the same kind of guy until he saw those horse people, but that was a whole nother movie and I kind of checked out at that point. Yeah. So I didn't feel like his character development was accurately portrayed, so I think that if they would have stuck with what you guys just said, I think it would have been a much more compelling film.
Yeah, I think the movie would have... it's just what happens when you try too hard to make
But I think it was one of those things that like something major had to happen for him to take that look at himself because he knows good and well, like he was like, look, I'm gonna support y'all, but I'm supporting y'all from the bench because I need to do this. Yeah. It was all like monetary focused.
I mean, I don't want to, again, like you said earlier, I don't want to shit on someone's art, but I guess there could have been a better way of showing that. Like maybe Armie Hammer shows him a video of his friends becoming slaves, and that makes him like jump to the I don't want that to happen to my friends or my family. or something. I mean, the horse thing was just like, it didn't build up to that, in my opinion.
I saw this thing online the other day where it was talking about, do you not accept it because it's weird, or do you accept it because you don't understand it? And I think this is weird to the point where it doesn't make sense. I think that's the difference between having things that are creative. We just
explained multiple things that we're like, okay, I can see this, but that was just too much.
This is what happens with independent movies. It's just like, why do they have to be so fucking weird?
Yeah, there's a lot of independent movies that are really weird, but there's some that have really poignant messages. But
this one did, but it just...
I think the movie could have been fine. I agree with you. It could have been fine if they didn't do that last little chunk at the end, because then I was like, oh my God, I could be taking my hair down.
Yeah, it kind of... After that point, it was just like, what the fuck?
What is happening here?
And mind you, shout out to AMC, because we definitely get the tickets for $5 on Tuesday. I'm mad I paid $5.
No. Before I forget, we got 2 segments we got to hit. What do y'all think the Rotten Tomato score was? I don't know what it is. Did you look it up?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, I'll Google it. What do you
35.
think? 35. Nah, hell no. It's gonna be high. I think it's gonna be in the 90s.
My guess is 35. Between 50 and 60.
I'm going in the 90s. Y'all tripping? I'm definitely going in the 90s. I'm willing to go in the high 90s, like anywhere between 95 and 100. I'm willing to go that far.
I don't know about that. I'd say 50 or 60.
It was super artsy, so I'm pretty sure that's what critics like. They like artsy shit, especially artsy shit by black people. It was 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
I told you.
77% of the audience liked that. Wow.
So, I mean,
that's crazy.
I don't think
7% of the audience like to see black people coon.
That's another thing.
People enjoy seeing black people make a mockery of themselves and coon.
Yeah. I think that's another thing they kind of hit on there, because they showed him in front of all those white people at that party, like
cooning.
Like exactly, like
he was just there for entertainment.
I feel like it has the Donald Glover syndrome, where it's like anything Donald Glover does that people think is like the greatest thing ever, and I just think, no disrespect to Donald Glover, I just think that like that's the most overrated person right now. Like he does a lot of good things. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, it's cool. It's not that great. Like, it's not mind blowing. Right. That's just my opinion. But our second segment, we already know what Mia's gonna say. Should you go see it at the movie theater, wait for it for DVD, or just skip it completely?
I feel like this movie would have done great on Netflix. So I don't think this movie has the spectacle of seeing it in the theater. So I would say just wait for the DVD, and it might end up on Netflix. Who knows?
Mia, we know what you're gonna say. Go ahead, say it.
I'm going to say that it's a good thing that this was a movie, because I don't enjoy watching a crowd of white people yell out the N-word.
Yeah, that wasn't happy. So I'm assuming that's skip it?
Skip it. On Hulu, skip it on bootlegs.
I think that movie, you should see it. You should see it high. But don't see it at the movie theater, because I do not support public intoxication. But you should see it high. If maybe you'll like it. I feel like that would have been the perfect movie for high niggas to be like, you know what? You see, y'all missing the bigger picture here, or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Conspiracy niggas. I don't know. Y'all want to rant some more? Y'all got some time?
No. Thank you for coming to watch.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you with this review. I don't know, but you know.
So what did you think of Sorry to Bother You? You can tell us in the comments. Matter of fact, if you could slander us in the comments, we would appreciate that a lot more.
You don't have to do that for me.
Because we are going to come for you if you do. So yeah, that was Sorry to Bother You. That was A Table Rant, and thanks for listening.